Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're looking at my Holy Trinity of lenses for the L-mount system. So I'm in the L-mount system now, as well as shooting with Micro Four Thirds, but I'm starting to invest in the L-mount system in terms of cameras and the odd lens. And at the minute, I've not yet invested in a Holy Trinity of native lenses for the L-mount system. But that's something I will do in the future. For at the minute, I do have a Canon Frankenstein Holy Trinity of lenses, which I use for the L-mount system. And to be honest, it's mainly video work that I'm doing, so for me it works absolutely fine. So if you're a photographer, I can see how you would want to go native, particularly to get the AFC working, and adapting lenses is not very good for getting really good autofocus performances. But in terms of optics and things, then adapting lenses for me, there's no issues whatsoever. So before we go any further, let me just go over the Holy Trinity. When I refer to Holy Trinity, I'm talking about 3 lenses that cover pretty much from the wide focal lengths up to the telephoto focal lengths. And most camera brands have these lenses, and they're usually around the 16 to 35, the 24 to 70, and the 70 to 200 mark. So Canon, Nikon, Fuji pretty much have similar lenses of those focal lengths, and that just means you can, particularly if you're a photographer, you can just get these 3 zoom lenses in your bag, and that'll see you through most scenarios in terms of photography, and also probably videography too. Here we go. Here's my 3 trio Holy Trinity lenses. It's lenses which I've acquired over the years, and lenses which I really like. One thing to note as well is all of these lenses are f4, and for me that was not essential, but it definitely helped being f4 because it kept the cost down of the lenses. And also for video work, I don't always want a huge shallow depth of field, so f4 was absolutely fine, particularly on the more telephoto side of these lenses. And of course with full frame, you can get a nice shallow depth of field. If you're coming from the Micro Four Thirds world, f4 full frame bokeh is similar to what you're going to get with an f2 Micro Four Thirds lens. So just to give you some idea of how bokeh-licious f4 is. So for the first lens of my trio, it's a lens which I've recently reviewed for the channel, so I'm not going to go too much into this lens, but it's the Tokina 17 to 35, and this is a really cool lens. Like I said, I'll put a video here so you can watch the review of this lens, but I'll just quickly go over a couple of things. Internal focusing, great optics, and affordable. So for a mid-range zoom in this Holy Trinity of lenses, I have, and I still enjoy, this bad boy. This is the Sigma 24 to 105 f4. If you've used Sigma lenses, particularly the more modern lenses, you'll understand that the Sigma produce very good lenses, very sharp, optically very modern, very serious lenses. There's no fucking around with these. They are very clinical in their sharpness and their color reproduction. And this also has a optical stabilization built in too. So particularly when I was using this with a Pocket 4K, which doesn't have any IS, I was still able to get some handheld steady shots. Particularly good as this is a 105 on the more telephoto end, and if you're doing some handheld shots with a 105 on a non-stabilized camera, having that OS will just steady things out, which is brilliant. This is definitely one to look at, and more affordable than the native LUMIX S 24 to 105. So I think you picked these up about if you're lucky, about £4.5 to about £600, I think, in comparison to the LUMIX S 24-105, which I think is over £1,000. So yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, so this isn't weather sealed at all, which is a big downer, if I'm totally honest. Also, the lens has very smooth focus rings and zoom rings too, which is definitely helpful for video work. 24-105 is also a very versatile focal length, particularly on full frame. 24 can be quite wide, and 105 can be nice in telephoto. So if you ever had to take just one lens, this would be a lens that I would definitely consider taking, as I feel I could pretty much get most of the shots I'd want to get with this lens. So 24-105, really nice lens, really good for video, definitely a good option. Telephoto now. So the telephoto option is this beauty, Canon 70-200. Now there's different versions of this lens, and I've gone probably for the cheapest one, but I felt I could for these reasons. F4 for me, like I stated earlier, is enough, particularly on a telephoto lens like this. And I don't need the IS on the lens because I have IS on the LUMIX S cameras, such as the S1 and the S5, which I'm filming on right now. So yeah, didn't really need to shell out any more money on IS or to go to f2.8. I'm getting really good optics with this lens. It's internal focusing, internal zoom as well, which is really, really nice. And it's just a really nice lens to use for video, and I'm always happy with the results I get with this lens. And definitely saved me a few quid too, because if you look at the LUMIX S, version of the 70-200 f4, albeit that does have IS, well over £1,000, and this cost me about 260, 270 on eBay in really good condition too. So, you know, saving a lot of money there. And on this channel, that's what we're all about, you know, videographers, filmmakers, trying to save a bit of dollar, because as we know, this is a very expensive hobby or profession which we're in. So with these three lenses, you know, it's really saved me some money buying these three lenses, or Canon EF as well, which is easy to adapt to the LUMIX S series cameras, and also easy to adapt to the Micro Four Thirds system if I needed to do that. So going forward, definitely going to think about getting some native Sigma L-mount lenses, maybe the 14-24, and perhaps the 100-400 is quite tempting too. Quite a small but very telephoto zoom lens to go along with the 28-70, which I've got right now. So that's my Frankenstein cheap, affordable Holy Trinity lens kit. Let me know what you think about my lenses. Would you swap anything out and replace with anything else? Do you have any of the lenses, and what do you think about them? And yeah, let us know what your basic Holy Trinity of lenses are, and yeah, leave those in the comment section down below. That's it from me. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.